Hey guys, my name is Corey Zimmerman, and I'm here today to talk to you about sports media and how it impacts us as human beings. Specifically, ESPN. ESPN was founded by Scott and Bill Rasmussen and Ed Egan, and ESPN first premiered in September 7th, 1979, and really brought sports out, and that's when the sports world boomed across the country and the entire world. ESPN's headquarters are in Bristol, Connecticut, and they also have a big news station in Los Angeles, California. ESPN, what they were really trying to do was bring fans in from several various teams, various sports, to keep them updated on sports or scores and highlights 24/7. It was basically a roundtable all day. That's what they started off as, and then they developed into more, and I will later on get into that. They began to entertain the audience a few years after they first premiered with special guests on shows along with top sports anchors, names like John Saunders, Stuart Scott later on, and then John Anderson, John Butchergross, some of those guys. And then ESPN, back in the day, most athletes wouldn't get publicized much because you just had newspaper and radio. You wouldn't be able to show who these players were, but TV and ESPN, they would show those top name guys like Michael Jordan back in '82 when he was with University of North Carolina. That's how he really got his name, because they were showing highlights of him all the time. And that's when social media really started to develop during that time. And then ESPN, as they became so popular, they added several other channels to expose audience to their product. For example, NFL Live, The Jump, First Take, PTI. Some of those channels or some of those shows are directed towards certain fans. Like, for example, NFL Live's for NFL fans. They give you all NFL updates, what's going on. They break down certain things to give you more in-depth look. Unlike a newspaper, where a newspaper, you could say what you needed to say, but on TV you can have different analysis, and that's what ESPN was doing. I know for myself, I became a huge ESPN fan when I was 12 years old, and I started watching it 2 times a day, and I've been on that same track for 9 years now. So it's quite addicting. I've become more media literate to it, and that's why I've chose the major that I'm doing, because I want to be a sports anchor because of ESPN. I watched it all the time, and I practiced talking about sports and my favorite teams along with other teams, and debate it with other people about sports, and that's how it got me into it. So sports in general, Bleacher Report, the ESPN app, they now allow you to watch sports and shows on your phone or iPad, computer, whatever it may be. There's several other apps out there that can give you updates on sports, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, like I had already mentioned, Bleacher Report. So those kinds of things really exposed us and a certain group of people, where then they became addicted and they're like, oh, I need more of this. And that's how sports became relevant in media literacy. And that's all I got for you guys. Thanks.